Let's get into it, shall we? And we're going to start things off with item number one. And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Bryson, who writes, "Hi, John. I just saw Pixar's announcement about their new short film, Burrow, that is going to be released with Soul, the new upcoming Pixar film that is apparently still scheduled to come out in November. What really stuck out to me was how it said in theaters before Soul on November 20th. Do you think that Disney is sticking to that release date of Soul then, or do you think they will push it to a later date on Disney Plus?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, actually, we just talked about Soul recently because when they announced that Black Widow was being moved, they also specifically said in that report that Soul was staying exactly where it was. They're saying they're keeping that thing on the November 20th date. This is the official news that came out about it, by the way. This comes from Screen Rant, who writes, "Pixar announced that the Spark short preceding Soul is titled Burrow. Soul is Pixar's next feature and is set to hit theaters on November 20th. The film was initially set to premiere on June 19th, but Disney postponed the film's release due to the theatrical closures surrounding the pandemic. While Disney has since pushed back the majority of its 2020 lineup to 2021, Soul is still set to hit theaters in November as intended." All right, that came to us from Screen Rant. So first of all, let me just say, one of the things I look forward to most with Pixar movies, and Pixar, listen, I personally think Pixar is the best movie studio out there. Not just the best animation studio out there. I think they're the best movie studio out there. When you look at their track record, like they just crank out like incredible film after incredible film after incredible film, with a few notable exceptions to that, sure, Cars 2, but for the most part, they just crank out insanely beautiful, wonderful, heartwarming, entertaining, if good for all ages kind of films that I just love watching. They're fantastic. So anyway, they just announced, and by the way, one of the recent ones, Rob, I don't know if you got a chance to see Bao, that short, the one of the last shorts they did about the, oh, dude, if you got to look it up, Bao. It's absolutely. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. My wife, coming up from the Asian background as well, she loved it as well. But anyway, they just announced that there's this new one, Burrow. And they released a poster for it too. It might be on here. Yeah, this little poster looks great. You see all the other animals that burrow, and you've got all the animals doing stuff, and you got this little rabbit down on the bottom looking kind of, paranoid, if you will. It looks delightful. It's a Pixar short, so I'm all for it. I think that's great. The real big question, though, is it comes down to, will Soul even come out November 20th? Now, again, they did just say, oh yeah, Black Widow's moving, but they made a point to come out and say, but we are keeping this where it is. As a matter of fact, there was a report a few weeks ago that suggested that Soul might move to Disney Plus, to which Variety said a Disney insider for them clearly refuted that, saying, nope, we have no intention of putting Soul on Disney Plus. So they're saying November 20th. And that's all well and good. That's fine. The problem though, Rob, with that is, with everything being as it is, dude, like with the fact that we're seeing all these other movies move and all that kind of stuff, makes it shaky enough as it is. The fact that Disney also moved Black Widow, that's going to make it, and I don't blame Disney for making that move. Everybody's just trying to do what they can do to survive right now. But they moved that lessens the chances that movie theaters will even be open come November. So I gotta say, while I have in recent months been optimistic, like when a studio says, yeah, we're going to keep this date or that date, I've generally been pretty optimistic that they will. But I have to admit, despite the fact that Disney is saying, nope, we're keeping that November date, I'm not sure that that's true. And I think them moving Black Widow and other films moving as well is going to make it even more difficult for theaters to even be open by the time Soul comes around. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, Rob, and say, I'm not disputing what Disney's saying. I'm not saying Disney doesn't intend to launch November 20th. I'm just saying at this point, I doubt it. I doubt it's actually going to happen. Rob, when you take a look at this situation, what do you see?
Look, every time I look at the weekly box office totals for Tenet, I think to myself, there's no way they can release.
Still number one, by the way, 4 weeks in a row. Still number one.
I know. But you just look at it, and the economics don't work. Whether it's any of the Disney films, whether it's Pixar, whether it's Black Widow, Movies that cost $150 million, $200 million, you know as well as I do, they have to return $800 million, if not $1 billion. And they're expected to, because the success of these movies isn't just to pay the production budget back and to make a profit, but it fuels it's the whole company's engine are these movies, and they'll play for years. Then they go into the Disney Plus, or they go on any kind of streaming, or you can buy them, and then the merchandising. So these films are fueling a much larger machine that has to continue to grind. And if they don't do well at the theatrical level, it brings the whole company to a grinding halt. It's not good for anyone.
Yeah, I gotta tell you though, I must admit that while I am skeptical that they can actually release Soul November 20th, especially in the light of moving Black Widow away. Very selfishly, I really hope they do, because I've gone to the movie theater, not counting drive-ins. I've gone to the movie theater twice in the past 6 months. I went to go see, had a very good time going to go watch New Mutants, even though, the movie didn't turn out to be as good as I was hoping it would be. And I got to go see Tenet. But I would really love to go back to the movie theaters again. I would love to go back and see this too. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm doubtful it's going to happen. That's just doubtful. Question is, guys, what do you think? I love the look of this Burrow short, by the way. I think this is going to be great, but I doubt we're going to get to see it on November 20th along with Soul. What do you guys think? Or maybe you guys think more positively, saying, look, Campea, they had an out to say that we're moving it, but they've decided to plant their flag and they're going to keep it on November 20th. That would be great if it does. I have my doubts. What do you guys think? Jump into the comments section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys.